All right, Jeremy Sochan.
That's better, yeah.
Did I get it right?
Sochan, same thing.
Tomato, potato. All right. What can you tell me about him?
So Jeremy Sochan, 6'9" forward out of Baylor, age 19. He's a projected lottery pick. This is a definite trade-up guy. This is a guy who, if you're in love with, like, you would make a play to trade up. You'd have to give us something substantial, but I'm actually kind of falling in love with Jeremy Sochan. He's a freshman. I just finished his freshman season at Baylor. Came off the bench in every game except one. But he's really, really intriguing. He kind of reminds you of Aaron Gordon, actually. His strengths, on and off ball defense, you can make a case that he's the best and most versatile defender in this draft. Maybe him or Jabari Smith, who's probably going to go number one. He's just an incredible defender, on ball, off ball. He can guard 1 through 5. He can guard on the perimeter. He can bang down low. He can rebound. Also, high basketball IQ, super athletic, and he's got some playmaking upside as well. The weaknesses, his jump shot is definitely a weakness right now. Just watching him, I think it can be good if he just puts in some more work. It's not like his form is broken or anything. He also gets a little out of control at times, takes some questionable shots, a bit of a risk taker, but he gets out into the open floor, and this dude is fun. I'm really, really liking him, but he's probably going to be gone before the Nuggets. We got to cover all our bases, though, in case something happens. But really, really intriguing, like a 6'9" playmaking forward.
Baylor, another one that's produced some good players over the last decade or so. Another one I just kind of look to. How tall is he? Give me the measurable again. 6'9", so he's a forward. I mean, he's like a power forward.
He's kind of Aaron Gordon. He's a 4, but Aaron Gordon played the 3 for most of this year.
What's interesting about that, so I like the idea of being a guy that has some playmaking chops. I like, if you're not going to be able to shoot the ball really well, but you can defend on and off ball, you got to be able to do something else at a high level. Like Aaron Gordon, he is a good passer. Like, he kind of surprises me, but I wouldn't call him a playmaker. I would stop short of that. I would say that he has, if you broke down Aaron Gordon's game, you would say, good on-ball defender in particular. Off-ball defender, he needs to get better there. And then as keep the ball moving, can he make the extra pass? Can he surprise you every now and then? Yes, but I wouldn't call him a playmaker. But he does punish his man on switches. Like, that's one of the values to him. Mm-hmm. It sounds like this guy's more of a playmaker, maybe less of a scorer.
Yeah, I mean, he averaged 9.2 points per game last season.
That's really low. Like, we talked about.
Played 25 minutes. He was coming off the bench, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, he really reminds me of Gordon. Like, he'll grab and go off a rebound, dribble it up the floor, and just go all the way to the rim or pass it off. So he can definitely handle the ball, push it up the court. And, he's just really versatile. He can switch 1 through 5, like I said. He's got a 7-foot wingspan, pretty good measurables. He's athletic. He can jump. He's just so disruptive, and defensively is just where you get really excited about him. When he's guarding the ball, when he's 1 or 2 passes away, he can, he has a knack for, if his guy's posting up, he'll slip around him and deflect the ball and get a steal. He can pick off passes that try to skip across the defense. Just defensively, just the upside is through the roof, I think.
It's interesting because I was just about to prepare to say that, because production does matter a little bit. A lot of times, especially when you're trying to extrapolate, you say, we think he can do this, we think he can do this. And 9 points per game or whatever seems low. But I just looked it up, per 40 minutes, almost identical to Aaron Gordon's rookie season as well, or freshman season. So I think about 0.9 points per 40 minutes less.
Yeah, and there have been guys who have come off the bench in college recently and been pretty high draft picks. And sorry. And
what do you got going on here? Well, we don't know what that is, but you can go ahead and take a drink of it. We'll do it live.
No, there have been guys who have come off the bench in college a lot and have been taken pretty high in the draft.
Devin Booker.
And have been fine picks. So I don't think a guy, and also he was a freshman on a good Baylor team.
Right, yeah.
That was another component here.
So I'm also looking sort of here just through it right now. And he's the guy you mentioned is Polish-American, but spent most of his life in the U.S., I assume?
Yeah, so his mom is Polish. He grew up in England, but then moved here for high school. He's also got some experience. Thank you, Kale. He's also got some experience playing internationally. Like, he played on Poland's U16 national team. He won the MVP at the 2019 FIBA U16 Euro Championships for Poland as well.
Mm-hmm.
He just played for the Polish national team at the 2022 Eurobasket qualifiers over the last couple of years.
Any idea who he went up against there? Like, because again, that's really young. You're talking about 16 years old.
He was the youngest player to ever play for Poland.
Wow.
Internationally.
That's pretty interesting. Well, there you go. Fits a little bit, I guess, with the international feel here. Even if he did grow up, where was it? Indiana? Is that where he grew up? You just said Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Indiana. Yeah. So, all right. I'm intrigued. I mean, but top 10? What does it take to get up into that zone? I mean, I don't think Monte Morrison gets that done.
No, it'd be like Monte Morrison at first. Look,
that's what I mean. Monte Morris and 21.
Yeah.
That gets you up, you think?
Maybe to like the late lottery.
So if he falls to like 13,
14.
If he falls to 13, 14,
Yeah.
he might be able to pull it off.
No,
that
like
price
I said earlier, like, he is a guy who you trade up for if you just absolutely love him.
Yeah.
If he's your guy,
Yeah.
you make a bold move to trade up for him. Do I think he is the Nuggets guy? Probably not, but I think he might be my guy. Like, I really, really like him.
Really?
Yeah.
That much? You're ready to give the Harrison Wentz stamp of approval?
I'm really intrigued. Really intrigued.
Is the idea, though, and here's another interesting one, you start to go into Denver's in win now mode. Is he a win now piece?
That's the thing. He is super young. He's 19 years old. He was a one and done at Baylor. I don't think he's as far off from contributing to winning basketball that most one and done guys are. I think he's got a more mature game than most one and done guys do. That being said, like, can you count on him the same way you can count on Abaji for minutes next season? Probably not. He's probably a little further away, but I do think he's further along than your typical one and done.
Does
prospect.
he cannibalize Zeke Naji?
Yeah.
So that maybe is the trade there. Is you're looking at a Monte Zeke combo or something.
I mean,
if you were
what's Zeke really good at? Shooting and defense.
Yeah, perimeter defense.
Sohan is a better defender, I think.
Okay.
Shooting, though, Zeke Naji is an elite shooter. Sohan is not a good shooter right now. But I think if it had to come down to it, yeah, it would probably cannibalize him.
Okay.
That's a good question.
It's funny, man. The statistical profile with Aaron Gordon really is like almost
I know,
identical.
right?
It's
And I
pretty
swear
fun
to God,
go
when
through
you
all
watch him, you're like, this is Aaron Gordon.
moves like him.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a good player. I do wonder just about the timeline of it all. Like a good defensive player, a good defensive piece. It's funny when you think about the young guys who have made championship impacts. And we've gone through these, like Tyler Heroes, and like this, that. I'm trying to think of an example of a great defensive player that has made a real immediate impact on a championship team. I mean, we've had them. Scotty Barnes is an all-around player, but they're also not a championship team. I don't know. I don't know if there's a good good.
I mean, I'm just going through the finals matchups as of late.
Yeah. Boston. I mean, like Grant Williams. These guys. I keep thinking of Grant Williams, and they're different. Like Grant Williams is a different type of player, but it's it's been a couple years for him to kind of come along.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't happen that often where you have a rookie
in theory
who's this young.
In theory, you don't think you could play them together with Zeke Naji and Sohan? A 3-4 combo or 4-5 even combo?
I think you could, because Sohan could act as the 5 in that scenario.
Really? He's more of a 5 than Zeke.
Yeah, I would just say that because he doesn't have the shooting component, and he's a better rebounder than Zeke, I think.
So I see him comped to Ben Simmons and Draymond Green and Aaron Gordon.
What's interesting?
Well, what's interesting about it is Aaron Gordon is not the guy you would run an offense through. Draymond Green is if you have Steph Curry or this or that. And he's pretty, like, Draymond Green is a good sort of point forward other than the fact that he can't score. Ben Simmons is, though. Is there any, like, he could be both a secondary playmaker alongside Bones, but also a defensive big?
I mean, maybe. I didn't see him that way.
Okay.
But that's interesting.
Yeah.
I saw him more as a big than a guy who's handling the ball a lot.
He's got a good handle, but maybe not like a point guard's
It's
handle.
fine. Yeah. He can grab and go and dribble up the floor and make a pass.
Like Aaron Gordon has a good handle, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have a point guard's handle.
Right. Yeah, he's got an Aaron Gordon handle.
Okay, he's got Aaron Gordon handle. All right, I'm going to give him. I'm intrigued. Sounds out of reach, but you never know. Maybe it is. I would say this: if that was the move to trade up and trade real pieces, they would be like, "Wow, that's a Calvin Booth move."
Calvin Booth is putting his stamp on
Yeah,
the
he's putting a
Nuggets
stamp
right
on this
now.
draft. That's not a Tim Conley. I don't think would do this one.
When was the last time the Nuggets traded up in the draft? I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah, you'd have to go back before this era.
Well, you can't really
You
count,
bought second rounders.
You can't
but that
really
doesn't
count the Hampton one because they traded back into the first round to get that pick. Has Tim Conley ever traded up?
Yeah, because there is a difference between trading for versus trading up. Like the R.J. Hampton one, they traded to get an extra pick.
Yeah.
They didn't trade a later pick to move up or whatever. So yeah, I don't think they have. Alrighty, should we hit the break and then and get to our last one on the other side?
Yeah, let's do it.